Steps Beyond the Horizon, a story of perseverance. In a small mountain village, there lived a young man named Arun. Every morning, he would look out at the tallest peak in the distance, its snow-covered summit gleaming in the sunlight. "I will climb that mountain one day," Arun often said. The villagers would laugh and shake their heads. "No one has ever climbed it," they said. "The storms are too fierce, the cliffs too steep. You'll never make it." But Arun's heart burned with determination. One crisp morning, he packed a small bag, gathered his strength, and set off toward the towering peak. The first few days of the climb were easier than he expected. The lower slopes were dotted with trees, and the paths were well-trodden. Arun felt confident as he moved steadily upward, but soon, the air grew colder, and the path turned rocky and steep. Arun slipped more than once, scraping his hands and knees. The cold wind howled around him, making every step harder. Exhausted, he sat down on a ledge to catch his breath. As he rested, he noticed an old monk sitting calmly on a nearby rock. The monk had a serene, gentle face, and his robes swayed slightly in the mountain breeze. He sat with his back straight, gazing out over the valley below, as though he could see the whole world from his perch. His presence radiated peace, and Arun couldn't help but feel drawn to him. The monk turned his gaze toward Arun and spoke in a soft, kind voice. "Why have you stopped, young man?" Arun hesitated, then said, "I wanted to reach the top of the mountain, but the climb is so hard. I don't think I can do it." The monk nodded slowly, as if he had heard this many times before. "Look back," he said, gesturing with his hand. "Tell me what you see." Arun turned and looked down. The valley stretched out far below him, the village he had left behind now a tiny speck. He saw how far he had already climbed. "You've come a long way," the monk said, his voice filled with warmth. "Each step you took, no matter how small, brought you closer to the peak. Remember, the summit is not reached in a single leap, but in many steady steps. Rest if you need to, but do not quit. You're stronger than you know." Arun stared at the monk, feeling a spark of hope reignite in his heart. He thanked him and stood up, his legs still trembling, but his resolve stronger than ever. Step by step, hour by hour, he kept climbing. He faced icy winds, slippery rocks, and moments of exhaustion. But each time he faltered, he remembered the monk's words. "Each step brings you closer." Finally, as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Arun reached the summit. He stood at the top, looking out over the vast expanse of mountains and sky. Tears filled his eyes, not from exhaustion, but from the overwhelming joy of knowing he had done what once seemed impossible. The lesson of the climber Arun: reaching your goals may feel impossible at times, but success isn't about taking one huge leap. It's about taking small, consistent steps, even when the path feels steep and the challenges seem endless. What is your mountain? What small step can you take today to move closer to your goal? Subscribe to The Reflective Mind for more inspiring stories and lessons to help you conquer your personal peaks and live with purpose.